Took some EDTA last night and woke up. The EDTA is the chelation stuff. And I can suddenly feel the weight of the situation. 300,000 people being human trafficked, all the people being killed in America, and these piece of shit church leaders that are the victims and everything because they have no agency in their lives. But, like, I can literally feel the weight of the situation, whereas before I wasn't able to take this seriously because I couldn't actually feel the circumstances. My theory behind that is my nervous system was so loaded with heavy metals that it literally couldn't handle the neural load. And I want to talk about this. There's this thing where this stupid shit, just move through it. When your nervous system doesn't work, it doesn't work. Okay. One of the things I remember early on about this situation is people asking me questions and my mind just going blank. And if you're ever talking to somebody and their mind just goes blank on a subject, and let's say like the subject's super serious, like war, somebody's like, oh, you saw somebody get killed in war, and the person's mind just goes blank, they're not fucking with you. That's a neurological response because the neural load is too much for the body and mind to process. When people were doing that, I wasn't fucking with them. That is a neurological issue brought about by heavy metal poisoning. We need more videos about heavy metal poisoning in psychology and on the internet in general, so people understand that you're not you when you're on heavy metals. I do kind of find this to be extremely fucked up because good old anal-eating mummy god assured me this wouldn't be the same situation as before, that I'd be poisoned with heavy metals and then not be able to complete a task because I was poisoned with heavy metals, when that is exactly what happened. Because I don't know how this works, but my theory is the aluminum, the cadmium and stuff was absorbed into either fat stores or cellular structures in my body, and when I chelated, I removed whatever the chelation shit could get to. But it didn't remove the latter stuff, and then the latter stuff entered my system again later, and then I had to chelate it again, and I believe I just had to chelate it a third time. Another thing I wanted to talk about is taking hot baths in my body leaking some type of weird, dense, viscous sweat. I don't know what that is. The only thing I know now is, thanks to the CBD and chelation therapy, I am probably closer back to my original old self than I have ever been in my life. That good guy that was just helping people. But now that good guy, this is really stupid. These guys on the internet, were like, we taught you compassion. You taught me demented hatred. I haven't learned compassion. I knew compassion because I practiced fierce compassion. I have learned hatred. I have learned prejudice. I have never been prejudiced a day in my life until now, and the only thing I know is you people need to be dead. Every one of you need to be dead. You have no value as a person. Just keep that in mind. The world isn't losing anything with your death. So, in regards to this situation, I find myself in. So I guess that's it's kind of a short video, I guess, because that's kind of what's going on. CBD's healed my brain, blood-brain barrier. The chelation therapy has enabled me to feel how serious this situation is. Whereas I couldn't feel it before. I don't know why the white van has left. I'm assuming something's up, and I don't understand any of this. I really don't, and I honestly don't care. The only thing I know is I need to go to court somehow, which I don't have those skills or abilities to do those things. But I want to just... I think this entire thing, to some extent, was a setup, because I remember Blondie telling me he was going to get my story, and then he was going to basically plagiarize my life and pretend to be me. So I guess that's the whole plan to replace me, is he's going to say he's me, and then he's going to tell my story, but it's going to be my story, and he's just going to lie about it and take the validation, which he doesn't deserve. Because he didn't do it, because he's not special, and he's a bastard. It's whitewashing. It's the great white savior stuff. And I think that's why he's kind of destined to fail, but I also think about that image I had of that great man talking and the sniper taking him out. I wonder if that's me, and that's Blondie on the podium, if I have the sniper, and just like Anal Eaton Mummy God said, he's like, you're a good person and you need to learn how to be a bad person, and Blondie's a bad person and he needs to learn how to be a good person. And that's what this situation is about teaching Blondie compassion. And I was like, I think he's too stupid to understand compassion, Anal Eaton Mummy God. And he said he's not. He's going to learn it, and then he's not going to use it because he doesn't have guilt or remorse. Another theory I have is I think this entire stupid fucking test was about the god they made me out in the desert, the Vajrapani guy, because he's supposed to have, like, courage or something. He's supposed to have the power of obscuration, which is the ability to see through bullshit. And he's supposed to be the fierce deity and fierce protector and have invincible skin. He's supposed to be like a beast or something. And I wonder if the whole setup of this is why there's so many twists and turns and things I don't understand and things that were set up later and things that were backwards and things that were forwards and like one, I guess a big chunk of this was literally they set this up obviously to make me look like an asshole because I did all these videos talking about how I don't care. When I say I don't care, I mean I don't feel like I have the power to do anything about it. And the other side of that is the Vajrapani stuff, that everything is fucked up and twisted and everything's backward psychologically because I have the power of obscuration and I'm supposed to be able to see through it to prove I'm a god. And I guess the final thing is courage. They're like, even if I poison you with heavy metals, you should still be courageous because you're a god. Well, no. You guys ever watch the Avatar Korra series? Do you know what knocks her out of her avatar power? Being poisoned with heavy metals. You know why? Because even in psychology, even in spirituality, yoga, and Hinduism and Buddhism, heavy metals knock you out of your spirituality. So if I am supposed to be connected to a god, and I am supposed to be a god, then you poisoning me with heavy metals has severed my connection to that god. Okay? That is how stupid you are. That is how much of a dumb bastard you people think like, okay? And even historically, the reason Hindus and Buddhists discovered turmeric is because turmeric has chelation properties, meaning it pulls heavy metals out of the body. Because Buddhists realized early on they couldn't connect spiritually for some reason, because they had heavy metal poisoning. Okay, so nobody in this church can actually connect with anything spiritually. That is why they pop LSD, because LSD isn't spirituality. It's a drug. It's masturbatory at best. I had a flashback to when I was president of this church, and this lady wanted to have sex with her long dead husband, so they did this ritual where they put his soul into my body, and I had sex with her. And she actually believed I was that guy. When all that happened is the wives out there gave me a series of his memories and then hypnotized me into believing I was him. And they argue that the dissociative identity brain can't be hypnotized, so you're not being hypnotized when you're high on a million different drugs and you're being hypnotized, because that's not possible, so obviously it's some type of possession. My theory is you just become so disassociated with yourself that you can't tell who you are and who you're not. One of the visions I had, and maybe this entire situation is kind of my fault, was because I was timid and scared because I had cadmium poisoning and aluminum poisoning when I was president, so I didn't get to lead true, just like I didn't get to go through this test true because I was damaged with heavy metals. I kept seeing myself becoming this great thing and getting terrified that I couldn't handle it, because I physically felt like I couldn't handle it because my nervous system was being destroyed by heavy metals, and I kept wanting to find somebody else to give it to. And this is gonna sound weird, but good old Anal Eaton Mummy God kept interfering and telling me I can't just give away my future. And I didn't know it was my future I was giving away because I kept seeing a guy that was crippled and couldn't handle it, and I was scared he couldn't handle it. and I didn't know what to do. And Anal Eating Mummy God kept interfering in my visions. Dude, I'm high on drugs when I'm talking about this. I was high on drugs. I don't do drugs. I was high on drugs, looking at this guy who was me doing things, and I didn't realize that guy that was crippled was me, and I thought that his future was too much for him, because the reason I believed his future was too much for him is because he was physically crippled with heavy metals, and I didn't know what he was crippled with. I didn't know it was heavy metals. I didn't know it could be dealt with. I just knew he was crippled, so I thought his future had to be given to somebody else. So I gotta wonder if this shit with Blondie is when I was president, I for some reason was trying to give it to somebody else, and I didn't know who to give it to, and I guess he got randomly selected. I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe it wasn't even him selected. It could have been anybody, for that matter. But I remember Anal Eating Mummy God continuously, like, interfering in my vision and telling me I can't just hand my future off to other people because they're not me and they can't handle my future. They will fuck it up. They will fuck it up and it'll derail everything. And I kept telling him, I'm crippled, I'm crippled, I'm crippled, I'm crippled, I'm crippled. And he just kept... This is the thing with these fuckers. They didn't tell me they poisoned me with heavy metals. They didn't tell me they crippled me. So I started thinking I wasn't good enough because I was crippled with heavy metals. And Anal Eating Mummy God, had he done the right thing and just told me, you're poisoned with heavy metals, Bobby. It's not that you're not good enough. It's that we damaged you. I would have made better decisions. Okay. But whatever. If you ever see these people... If you know the Church of the Anal Eating Mummy, get this stuff. Aluminum polish, and put it in their food. If they order at your restaurant, just get yourself a dab and put it right on their sandwich. Any member. I don't care who they are. Just get aluminum polish and put it in their food whenever they go out. If they try to get any type of drink, any type of food. These people, they like what they call dirty sodas. Put the aluminum in the dirty soda. Okay? Just start poisoning these people and targeting them surreptitiously, don't do it directly, with aluminum, and start poisoning them with it, okay, until they become timid and scared, until their church leader goes, you need to do that or I'll kill you, and they go, I'm too scared to do it, I'm so fucking terrified, my brain's been rewired with aluminum, but they won't know. And here's the good news, the members of this church aren't allowed to get chelation therapy, so if you poison them with aluminum, it doesn't come out, ever. So it's a good idea. Just do that. If you want to cripple these people in your local area, do that to them. It's the best response, and it's probably one of the better ways of handling this situation. You see, my original way of handling this was I spoke to the government and I told them to put EDTA in the sodas out where these people lived so that they could get chelated secretly, and it actually worked, believe it or not. And then I said that to the asshole on the phone, and then they shut down my operation because I was actually fixing things, because that's how you fix things. Once again, if you have a family member that's a member of this church, put EDTA in their food. Okay, as soon as they get the heavy metals out of their brain, they're not going to want to be a part of the cult. They'll come to their senses. Yeah.